The Miami Heat got some great news 48 hours before their season opener at home against the Orlando Magic. This is the Heat Report by Chat Sports. I am Nic Rohloff. I am absolutely fired up for Wednesday night against the Orlando Magic. I need to watch a good sporting team in my life because the Miami Dolphins certainly ain't it, that's for sure. And make sure you do join us for our watch party on Wednesday night against the Magic. We go live for almost every Heat game during the week during football season. Then once football season's over, we go live for every single game. We're still dropping videos in between games as well. Hit that sub button. You see this thumbnail live on Wednesday. Make sure you join us. All right, the good news heading into the season is that they're practically fully healthy, something that Miami has always struggled with in the past and, well, still might struggle with during the season. There's only been 2 injuries right now that affect the Miami Heat, and one really doesn't even affect them. Josh Richardson is the one that does. He's still dealing with that shoulder injury that he suffered against the scumbag Boston Celtics back on Super Bowl Sunday when he dislocated that shoulder. He's still working his way back, and he's probably not going to be ready for a week or two as he's trying to get back into the swing of things. But Josh Christopher popped up on the injury report today, did not participate in practice due to a right big toe contusion. I don't even know how that happens. Would he drop a weight on his toe or something like that? But he's obviously on a 2-way contract. He wasn't going to be in the Miami Heat rotation anyway. So Josh Richardson, is the only player that will not be ready to go for the season opener against the Orlando Magic. And as we always say with Miami, and well, you could say it in terms of your life as well, health is key for the Heat. Jimmy Butler has always struggled to play 65-plus games since joining Miami. Tyler Herro has struggled. Terry Rozier missed the end of last season. Duncan Robinson has been up and down. If the Heat are able to stay healthy, they will have a legit chance to be a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference, and I believe threaten teams like Boston, New York, Philly. Do I think they're going to be better than them in the regular season? No, I do not, but I am optimistic about how this season will ultimately go for the Miami Heat. You've got Jimmy Butler in a contract year motivated. Tyler Herro more willing to play off ball and accept his role and stop chasing accolades, all-stars, all-NBA, just be a productive winning basketball player, which that's all we've asked him to do. Bam Adebayo improving his three-point shot. Third-year Nikola Jovic. Second-year Jaime Jaquez Jr. Everything is going in the right direction for the Miami Heat right now, and if they're able to stay healthy, get 65-plus from both Jimmy and Tyler, because I think Bam will be there, Jaime's going to be there, Jovic is going to be there, and hopefully Terry's there as well, you are going to have a really strong season this upcoming year. And we're going to talk more about that season and what the Heat need to do and Tyler Herro's role, by the way, at the end of today's episode, so stick around for that. But who you got in the opener? It's time to ask a real question, baby. How about that? I love it. Type MIA for the Heat or ORL for the Orlando Magic. The reason why I did want to bring it up and ask you guys who you got, because it's a sneaky big game for the Heat, and it's really an underlying tone and message for this squad that goes back to last season. Because when you think of the Eastern Conference, there is that clear tier break between the top 3 teams that are the favorites to come out of the East, in Boston and Philly and New York. But then after that, all these teams, in my opinion, are very, very similar. The Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, Indiana Pacers, Milwaukee Bucks, and Cleveland Cavaliers. These are the teams that will be fighting for seeds 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the whole 9 yards. And if the Heat want to become a top 6 team and avoid the play-in and not be in there for the 3rd consecutive season, when you play teams on this list, either it's Orlando, Indiana, Milwaukee, or Cleveland, you are going to have to play your best basketball and win those matchups because we know it's going to be tight at the end of the regular season, and you are going to need some tiebreakers in order to be in the top 6 and not have to play in the play-in. Because ideally, if you're Miami, you end up in the 4 or 5 slot. You don't have to play one of the Knicks, Celtics, or Sixers in the first round, and you're able to play them just in the second round and let a couple of the other ones cannibalize themselves on the other side of the bracket when you're thinking postseason. So to me, it's very important for the Heat to win all these games against those 4 teams we just mentioned. Unfortunately, it's the season opener in Miami against Magic. You can't start off slow. Is the season over if they lose? No, of course not. But it would be an excellent start and a turning of the page, if you will, from a bad 2023-24 season if you're able to win at home to start off 24. All right, we got a new sponsor that I'm excited about. It is DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook and casino that I use. Shout out to DraftKings. I'm a massive fan of them, and I'm so happy that they're coming on board. The NBA is finally back. A new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's draining threes from beyond the arc? Who's crashing the boards and grabbing rebounds? Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. First time, new DraftKings customers bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code HEATCHAT. That's code HEATCHAT for new customers. Get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/bball. And you can already make some plays for this first Heat versus Magic game to kick off the Heat season. I think the Heat do ultimately win this game, so I got Heat -2. They talked about player props, right? You can take them right now. I got Tyler Herro, 3+ three-pointers made, and I got Bam Adebayo, 31+ point rebounds assists, which means if he just combines for 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists, that's going to be the number to hit. Shout out to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video. That link is in the description and comments of the episode. All right, let's go back to the big games that we've been talking about, because if they want to have the season that I think they can have this year, and a bounce-back year if you will, you have to have a better record against winning teams than they did last season. And what do I mean by that? Well, they were under 500 by a game against the top of the Eastern Conference. We looked at the top 7 teams in the East last season. They were 0-3 against the Celtics, 1-2 against the Knicks. They were 500 against the 76ers, but 1-2 against the Bucks. The only 2 teams that they had a winning record against was, ironically, the Orlando Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers, totaling a record of 11-13. And the Heat were able to have a decent record last year. I mean, they still won 47, 48 games, but they were able to beat up on the bad teams. But if you want to be that really good team that everybody's chasing at the top of the standings, you got to beat good teams. And in the Eastern Conference specifically, you got to have a better record against Boston. You got to be better against the Knicks. You got to be better against the Bucks. And I believe the Heat are capable of doing that, but you have to win these tough games. And I think they will start off on the right foot at home against the Orlando Magic. I think the sense of urgency for this team is there. They all know that this could very well likely be the final time they are all together, because Jimmy's in a contract year, assuming he opts out, and changes may be made if they stay healthy and don't get the job done. I feel like they are excited for the opportunity, the challenge this season, and I would expect the Heat to come ready to play on Wednesday and beyond. Predict it for me. What seed will Miami be this season? Let me know down in the comments section which one it's going to be. Before we move over to Tyler Herro, I'm going to predict they are the 5 seed in the Eastern Conference this year. All right, the final piece of good news here is on Tyler Herro, because he has just become a very mature player and person and will impact this team in a big way. It's crazy to say that Tyler Herro is entering his 6th NBA season. It feels unreal to say that. It feels like he just got drafted in 2019 last season. But Herro's a much more older player, much more veteran player, and he's starting to show that. And he even kind of reflected on his mindset going back just to last season, saying that I didn't know that last season when I was being in my feelings about being a catch-and-shoot player, because he wanted to be an all-star, a all-NBA type guard. He wanted to be on those conversations with Luka Doncic and Trae Young. And he ultimately felt like he had to be an on-ball presence, averaging 25+ points per game to do that. But I think he understands now he can still make money and be thought of as a really good player in this league if you just thrive in your role, whether it is just being a catch-and-shoot off-ball guy. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, Tyler's still going to average probably close to 18+ points per game and be a massive piece on this roster. But he's buying into playing off-ball more and just filling in the role that this office and coaching staff is asking him to do. And we talked about the catch-and-shoot three-point and playing off-ball more. He excels in this. In his entire career, he has been one of the best catch-and-shoot three-point guys in the entire NBA. Going back to his rookie year, he's averaged 3 three-point attempts off catch-and-shoot almost every single year. And he consistently shoots 38% or better. Last season, he shot 43% in 41 games on 4.2 three-point attempts a game. The evidence is there. He is an elite three-point shooter off the catch. So why not utilize that more and work that into the offense more than rather than making Tyler Herro the on-ball initiator and creator. It doesn't make any sense. You're taking away from Tyler Herro's arguably best aspect. And when you look at those numbers, maybe the percentages don't go up because the volume is going to go up. But that's where I want to take that conversation. You saw 4.2 3-point attempts last season, which was his career high in catch-and-shoot threes. I expect that number to be close to 5, if not passing that 5 3-point attempts on the catch threshold. I expect that to be there because Bam's going to find him. Jovic is going to find him. Jimmy, Terry, he's playing more off ball. He changed his shooting base where he's got a much more closed base. Had a wide stance before. It's a little closed. Allows him to get into his shot quicker and get it up faster. He's going to become an elite 3-point shooter off the catch, and I am very, very excited. We are going to see the most productive version of Tyler Herro this season. Do I think he's going to be having a better statistical year than a Sixth Man of the Year season in 21-22? Probably not. But in terms of impacting winning at the highest level, I think this is the year that we're going to see Tyler Herro take that leap because he's got stronger. He's playing at 200 pounds. It'll help him defensively. He's playing a role that suits him more on the offensive end. He'll still have the ball in his hands, but he's using more of that off-ball movement, catch and shoot, parlaying that into a drive to the rim. I'm very excited for Tyler Herro this season, man. I think he's going to be terrific. And make sure you do join us, set it off the top for our first watch party. I cannot wait, man. 48 hours is way too long. I can't wait, man. If you can't tell, I'm freaking giddy about it, man. I need it in my life again. I love Heat basketball more than anything, folks. Make sure you join us for this Wednesday night watch party. Hopefully I see you there.